welcome to Monday Morning Devotions here on the Reflecting Redemption YouTube channel. I'm Acacia Nunley, the creator of the Reflecting Redemption blog. We also have a Facebook page, Instagram, Pinterest. Go find us out there and give us a like and a subscribe, especially on here on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. If you would like to see a devotional video with a corresponding blog post every Monday at 8 a.m., then this is a good place for you to be. I love to write. I have loved to write ever since I was a little girl, and I am pursuing that passion and dream, and I can't think of anything better to write about than the Lord. And it's also the best thing to talk about. So every Monday at 8 a.m., I'll have a new devotional for you here on this channel. And then in the description box below, you'll find a link that will lead you to my blog, reflectingredemption.com. You'll also find a link to the corresponding blog post that goes with today's devotional. So there's a writing behind this video inspiring it. I'm a wife, a mom to one son, Elijah, and a homemaker. I'd like to start off by saying that it's my goal to create a space here on YouTube for us to talk candidly about our faith, about the Lord, about how good God is and what He has done for us. So that's my number one goal in bringing these devotional chats. I'm not a Bible teacher by any means, but I am a storyteller. It is truly what I love to do. And what better story to tell than the story of what God is doing in our lives each and every day, how He's changing us, how He's working in us, and how ultimately He's accomplishing His purposes through us. In Revelation 12:11, the Bible says, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony." In creating this channel, the very core concept is that talking about our faith, talking about our testimonies, and sharing God's movements in our life is what leads us to overcome in our daily walk with the Lord. I firmly believe that God is in the business of taking dead things and bringing them back to life. And that's where I came up with the name for the blog and for all the other platforms, Reflecting Redemption. I once read a book that said, we are like the moon as Christians. We produce no light of our own. We only reflect the light of the sun. So as the moon reflects the light of the sunshine, God and God's Son, Jesus, is all that we should reflect in our lives. We should be a reflection of His redeeming power throughout everything that we say and do. And I've seen God redeem so many situations in my life, I couldn't even begin to scratch the surface. But that is the goal, to share some of those things here. For example, we adopted our son Elijah, and God really led us on an enormous journey of faith through that. And I watched Him take a completely dead, buried, and gone situation and totally resurrect it, redeem it for His glory. Also, it sounds strange, but the house that I'm in right now is a total testimony to the power of God to redeem things in your life. It's really wasn't supposed to happen. This home that we have, it was a really hard journey, and it was really far gone as far as the condition, but I watched God bring this place back to life, use us to bring this back to life, and ultimately make it our forever home. So those are just a couple of examples of what God is doing in us and around us to bring redemption, and He does it every single day. But of course, the most important way that He redeemed us is through salvation, through the finished work of Jesus on the cross. If there's one thing that I've really learned in life so far, it's that it's not about me and it's not about us. We live in a very self-centered, self-catering, self-promoting world, and that can make it hard to live out your walk of faith, because the Bible clearly calls us to a life of sacrifice and a life of laying ourselves down in favor of something better, which is God and His plan for our lives. So in this world where we're all pretty self-centered, it's hard to be that reflection of the Lord, but that's what He's called us to do. I believe that the Lord is calling us to believe on Jesus, fully rely on Him, and take part in His suffering, no matter what that means for our walk of life, and shine our light everywhere we go, and ultimately take as many people to heaven with us as we possibly can, because this life is not forever. In Psalm 107:2, it says, "Let the redeemed of the Lord say so." And if you go check out the blog, you'll find that that is my tagline. That is kind of my motto that all of this comes from. I just think that we have all of these social media platforms now. We have all of these technological advances, and what would the disciples have done if they had had it in their day? Would they have been afraid of it, or would they have said, I can use this to tell people about how good God is? And I know there's a lot of people that are already doing that, but we all who believe in the Lord need to bombard these platforms with the goodness of God and with our testimonies, and just let everybody know what God has done in our lives. Use these platforms. As Christians, we're not called to lay low, be quiet, stay out of the spotlight, stay out of anybody's way. That's not our purpose. God calls us to step up, be bold, and share Him with a lost and dying world. We who have been redeemed need to say so, not for our own self-promotion, but for God's glory. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. So I hope you find this helpful. I hope you'll subscribe and come back again next Monday. We'll be talking about salvation and how that's the most important thing. It's a good foundational devotion to really get us started. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to come join us on Friday as we share another installment of our Cottage Homestead series, where we share the complete gut and renovation of our home that I spoke about earlier, and all things homemaking, homesteading, all that good fun. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.